4 million years ago, our ancestors were master navigators of the East African forests. They walked on two legs and lived in complex social groups, yet they existed in a state of total vocal silence. This anatomical baseline shows why. In early humans, as in modern chimpanzees, the larynx sat high in the throat. This left no physical space for the tongue to move deep into the pharynx, which is the movement required to produce the clear, differentiated sounds of human speech. This high placement served a critical purpose. It acted as a biological seal. It allowed early humans to swallow water and breathe at the same time, preventing liquids from entering the lungs. The very anatomy that protected our ancestors from drowning while they drank water simultaneously prevented them from forming words. The landscape forced a change. As the climate dried out, dense forests gave way to open savannas, dominated by grass reaching 6 feet in height. In the forest, visual cues like hand gestures were effective, but in the tall grass, they were totally useless. When a predator moved through the brush, a silent wave of the arm could no longer warn a companion a few yards away. Survival now strictly depended on audio specificity. To coordinate in an environment where they could no longer see each other, humans needed the ability to broadcast detailed information through sound. The first shift occurred 1.8 million years ago with the mastery of fire. Cooking meat made it softer and easier to digest, reducing the 5 to 6 hours a day our ancestors previously spent chewing raw, tough fibers. This shift in energy consumption allowed the human brain to expand. With fewer calories required for digestion, the body fueled a brain that eventually tripled in size. Fire also provided safety during the night. Groups gathered around the flames, beginning to bond through nonverbal humming and rhythmic vocalizations that acted as an early social glue. Over generations, the human larynx shifted lower. This descent created an elongated vocal tract, providing the tongue a resonance chamber. However, this created a dangerous flaw. In humans, the pathways for air and food now cross at a single point. Humans became the only mammals prone to choking to death on their own food. Natural selection favored this linguistic hardware, even though it came at the cost of respiratory safety. The final internal change arrived 70,000 years ago. A mutation in the FOXP2 gene modified the neural pathways of the brain, providing the software for structured language. This genetic shift integrated previously isolated regions of the brain. For the first time, humans linked memories of the past to predictions about the future, allowing them to articulate complex plans and shared myths. This new social coordination enabled humans to organize the long-distance tracks required to migrate out of Africa and adapt to new, unfamiliar continents. As they settled in different climates, their speech patterns adapted to the air they breathed. In the freezing winters of Europe, speakers relied on tight, closed-mouth sounds to prevent the intake of sub-zero air into the lungs. In the warmer regions of India, where cold air was not a threat, languages developed with open, resonant vowels. These dialects used the full capacity of the lungs, resulting in highly musical and breathy sounds. Today's 7,000 languages act as acoustic records, documenting how our ancestors physically adjusted their speech to survive their local environments. By 5,000 years ago, humans were living in cities like Uruk. These urban centers supported thousands of residents, far exceeding the number of individual relationships the human brain has evolved to track. In this high-density trade environment, memory became a liability. Forgetting the details of a grain shipment or a debt could disrupt the entire supply chain of the city. To manage this, accountants in Mesopotamia began pressing tokens into clay. They developed a system of tallies to record transactions, effectively offloading their memory onto a physical medium. And this was the birth of writing. It emerged as a functional accounting tool, a technological necessity for an economy that had grown too complex for oral memory to sustain. While writing systems evolved elsewhere, the script of the Indus Valley remains a mystery. Most inscriptions found on these seals are too brief to decipher, lacking the context needed for translation. Ancient India developed a different solution for preserving knowledge. Instead of clay, they used the human mind as a storage device, coding immense volumes of information into rhythmic hymns designed for perfect oral transmission across generations. Grammarians like Panini eventually formalized the rules of Sanskrit. His work laid out the logic of language with such precision that it mirrors the structure of modern computer code. This structured language was eventually bypassed by teachers like the Buddha. He spoke in Pali and Prakrit, the common dialects of the people, ensuring that complex ideas could be communicated directly to everyone, regardless of their status. From the physical descent of the larynx to the invention of data storage, every stage of this history was driven by the need to survive. Language is the most complex technology we have ever built.